She didn't raise her voice. She didn't storm away. On September 1st, 2025, in New York City, Anne Hathaway turned toward a pack of bickering paparazzi and delivered the sentence that froze the sidewalk. "There are children on set." Then she told everyone to relax, and the day kept moving. That's the moment the internet can't stop replaying. No tantrum, no lunge, no security scrum to fuel the mess. Just a clean boundary, and a star who knew exactly how to draw it. The camera caught her poise, and suddenly the loudest people on the street weren't the ones in charge anymore. Why it matters is simple. The Prada sequel set has leaked like a faucet for weeks, with outfits, locations, and blocking spilling across feeds before the studio posts a single still. Fans want the fashion candy. Spoiler accounts want the clicks. But this clip wasn't about a coat or a bag. It was about a workplace and the kids working inside it. Start with the date, because dates cut through spin. September 1st, 2025, New York City. The noise wasn't coming from the crew. It was photographers arguing with photographers while a scene was lining up. And looked up, clocked the chaos, and named the value everyone could agree on. Protect the children, protect the workday, protect the shot. Tone is everything. She didn't say, "Shut up." She didn't threaten, shove, or snatch a camera. She centered the minors and asked for calm. It's impossible to argue with that on video without making yourself the villain. One sentence turned a street fight into a standard. That's not luck, that's intent. The first payoff landed fast. In under 10 seconds, we had a concrete line, the date on the slate, and a star in full adult in the room mode. Clips traveled because they reframed the usual pap clash. The usual clip is heat and headlines. This one was cool air and a reset. The algorithm didn't know what to do with a boundary that polite and that effective. Look at the week that led into it. A few days earlier, and took the heel snap spill every sidewalk troll waits for, then laughed it off and kept working. That should have been the week's viral loop. Instead, she won back the cut by refusing to act embarrassed. Then on September 1st, she made the sidewalk's loudest voices look small without raising her own. The bigger plot is the leak economy. Every time couture steps outside a trailer, spoiler accounts pounce, and the set's perimeter gets tighter. But the minute a star introduces kids into the frame, the moral math changes. You're not arguing with a celebrity's ego anymore. You're arguing against a child's ability to work. That's a losing look on any platform. Production realities are boring until they aren't. Permits, quiet on-set calls, safety briefings, and coordination with minors are the rails that keep a day on schedule. When curbside arguing drowns out slate calls, you can burn a page in minutes. Anne's line wasn't a power trip. It was a save. The crew got there quiet, and the scene survived. Fans heard it the same way. Comment sections that usually split into diva versus leave her alone went lopsided for once. The sentiment was respect the set, protect the kids, keep it moving. People who love the leaks still drew the line at chaos near minors. That's the rare pivot where internet outrage retreats without anyone eating crow. There's a receipts angle, too. The weekly drip of on-set photos had turned the sequel into a sidewalk sport. But the most viral receipt out of New York became a reminder to stop acting like the sidewalk owns the day. The power shifted from whoever had the longest lens to whoever kept the room safe. That happens to be the woman carrying this franchise. Zoom out to the franchise itself. Power, tone, and status games made the original iconic. The sequel inherits that DNA. On September 1st, the power play wasn't a snarl or a slam. It was tone control under pressure. Miranda Priestley would approve. The coat stayed clean because the voice stayed calm. Take a beat on strategy, because this was one. If you've worked a set, you know you can't outshout a press line. You can outframe it, name the non-negotiable, put it on tape, let the optics do the heavy lifting. If someone escalates after "children are here," they write their own villain caption. If they back down, the day is saved. The second payoff is the speed. She didn't drag it out. She paused, delivered, returned to mark. The crew reset. No overtime burned on crisis control. No follow-up clip where someone gets dragged to a van. That's the difference between being the story and keeping the story on schedule. Calm is not just nice. Calm is efficient. Watch the body language in the clip. Shoulders square, face open, hands slightly lifted like a traffic officer waving a car to slow. It reads as a reminder, not a reprimand. When people feel reminded of a rule they already accept, they tend to comply. When they feel scolded, they push back. She gave them no room to rebel without looking reckless. Then there's solidarity. Other faces on this production have been seen steadying the perimeter, asking for the same respect in softer tones. That matters, because a boundary sticks when it's a culture, not a solo act. If the lead sets the tone and the rest of the set hums with it, the curb finds another target or moves on. Of course, the leaks won't end. Couture on a public sidewalk will always pull a crowd, but the crowd now knows the terms. If you get your shot while staying quiet, you'll probably get to keep getting shots. If you escalate near kids, you hand the star another clean hero edit and make your own inventory look toxic. That's a poor business model, even for paparazzi. Don't miss the subtext. The first film sold a fantasy about access. The sequel is being made in an era obsessed with access, down to every sidewalk snap, and flipped it by making restraint go viral. The best angle of the day wasn't a hemline or a handbag. It was a boundary, and boundaries rarely trend. This one did. Midway through the discourse, a twist emerged. People realized the calm call-out didn't just end an argument. It reframed every clip that will leak after it. Now every new video carries an invisible caption, "Remember the kids." You can't unwatch that context. Photographers can't ignore how it shapes comments. That's the twist, and it came from 8 words. There's also a lesson for anyone else fronting a circus like this. You won't stop the cameras. You can choose the sentence the cameras carry. Pick the line that plants a value and say it without heat. The internet will syndicate your standard for free. That's leverage. That's how you win on the same street that's trying to eat your day. The hero versus villain cut writes itself. The hero is the person protecting the smallest people in the room. The villain isn't a single name. It's the behavior that tried to drown a workday for a louder angle. Behavior is easy to fix. It's also easy to shame. The clip did both, without a single insult. Now place it next to the heel snap stumble. 2 street moments, 2 chances for the internet to run wild. Both times the star refused to feed the worst version of the story. One she turned into a laugh. One she turned into a line. That's a pattern, and patterns tell you who's driving. Studios can't buy this kind of narrative. You spend millions chasing a trailer that says your lead is magnetic and in control. One unplanned minute on a public path delivered the same promise, but real. She didn't just sell the movie. She sold the mood the movie needs to survive the shoot. If you're a spoiler page owner, this is where you recalibrate. Quiet cooperation keeps your feed healthy. Loud disruption gets you roasted under a clip that frames you as the person shouting past a child actor. The new algorithm isn't just code, it's optics. Optics changed on September 1st, and the audience moved with them. If you're crew, the change is measurable. You hear the slate again. You hit your take. A kid nails a beat without flinching at a sidewalk argument. The internet will remember the sentence and the date. The crew will remember the pages they got back because someone told a crowd to take a breath. By the end of the day, the moment was already lore. Not for drama, for discipline. It's the rare viral that costs nobody an apology and buys everyone an easier morning. The sidewalk didn't win. The set did. And the set won because the lead turned a scene partner into a tone partner the entire street. So here's the clean read. A star facing chaos made courtesy look cool. The loudest voices blinked first. The cameras kept rolling. The kids kept working. The clip did numbers. The movie got closer to done. That's the kind of math that should trend more often. In a year where everything feels staged, the realest flex is control without force. 8 words did more than any PR blast. 8 words told a crowd what mattered and left no space to argue. That's how you turn a leak week into a leadership week and make the internet carry your point for you. The sidewalk wants mess. It wants the shove, the grab, the shout. It didn't get it. It got a boundary and a lesson in tone. The internet replayed it anyway because it was undeniable. That's the punchline the paps didn't see coming. Remember the date. Remember the line. September 1st, 2025. There are children on set. The rest is just noise the star refused to amplify. Villain aimed to destroy hero, but ultimately destroyed themselves.